It's Bruce Fummey here. Now, those of you that watch my channel will know that I'm a Scottish Ghanaian. Well, check out my DNA video. Anyway, the point is I've been travelling in Australia and New Zealand to find out about Scottish stuff here. And my Australian mucker back home told me about a town in Australia where they had tartan lampposts. Tartan paint, I said. That would be clever. Anyway, this town is McLean, and I decided to come here and see just how Scottish it was. When I was in Brisbane doing my show, Stories of Scotland, the band Murphy's Pigs came along to the show. Now, once in a generation, there's a band that comes along and redefines Celtic music in an inspirational way for everyone. Murphy's Pigs are not that band, but they did tell me that here in McLean this weekend was going to be the most wonderful Highland gathering. So I decided to come here and find out for myself just how Scottish this town is. So come with me as we explore. If you're interested in the people, places and events in Scottish history, then click the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen. And click the notification bell to make sure that you're told when I launch new videos. In the meantime, let them tell us a story. The day started with a march past the 21 pipe band. And here we are at the McLean Showground. Now, if you look down there on the showground itself, there's a band just about to start with a piping competition. But as soon as I arrived, who did I meet but James Stewart Lovegrove, who's over here. Sorry, darling, you go your way. Now, here's an interesting character. It's great to meet you now. Dave, tell us about yourself. Now, Dave came up and said that he watches the channel. Woohoo! But he's an interesting guy in his own right. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm an Aussie, brought up loving Scotland, remembering the family tradition.
So what was the family background?
Well, we're Stewarts, and my great-grandparents came out from Galloway, and the family was originally up in the Stewart of Balquhidder.
Yeah. That's not far from me, up Stirlingshire.
Yeah, north of Stirling, and actually when I had a DNA test, that's where my big dots were.
Right, there you go.
So my nana, my grandma, told us tales of Scotland, and she danced me on a knee and said, "Don't forget.
Never forget who you are."
And so I've been in pipe band since I was a young fella.
What an absolute delight to meet Dave. Now, you've got a couple of YouTube channels yourself, haven't you?
Aye.
What are your YouTube channels?
Well, I'm most well known for Wing Chun Mind Force because I'm a teacher of Chinese Kung Fu. Yes, exactly. Big Bruce Lee fan when I was a young fella. And my other channel is called Viking Superpowers. And it just started off, but I've had auspicious start. I've interviewed some really amazing people from the States, in Europe, and it's all about Scots, Irish ancestry, and particularly some of the weirder stuff, you know, the stories about the second sight.
Oh, right.
And I've, don't know if I dare say on camera, but I do have the second sight.
All right, okay.
In my family...
I've had dinner with the Loch Ness Monster.
Have you? And what did you eat? Leeks?
And the fish.
Fish. Oh, I like fish. Now, I can't scientifically prove I got the second sight, but I do.
Yeah.
And my mum told me, against her will, she said, my grandmother told me once that she had a different way of seeing. She was from Scotland. She had a different way of seeing. She could see stuff that wasn't there and tell the future.
And you've carried that on?
Yeah, I was just sort of born with something strange.
Tell me this, will this video do good views? Will it do good? Are we going to get a lot of views in this video?
Oh, aye, because I'm very handsome.
All right, okay.
And
Dave Stewart Lovegrove has predicted it, ladies and gentlemen.
This is going to go off.
Let's see what else we can see and who else we can speak to. Right? Thanks very much,
Dave. It's such a pleasure to meet you, mate. Right.
What's your name?
I'm Nicole.
Nicole, right? Now, you're kitted out, Nicole. tell me why. And what's are you in one of the bands?
Yes.
Right.
So I play with McLean Pipe Bands. We compete.
The local.
Yeah, the local band.
Now,
yes.
and it's been going for 15
years.
125 years. The local pipe band here in McLean has been going.
Yep.
Why did you join a pipe band on the other side of the world?
Okay, so my son is a Lothian.
Right.
From Mid-Lothian, so that's where our heritage comes from, I guess. Yeah. So he said, Mum, I want to learn an instrument. I was like, yes, what do you want to learn? And he said, bagpipes. And I was like,
Get in! That's fantastic.
So he started on his journey before us, and then I've sort of joined as part of the band. Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, what a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Right,
Lovely
there
to
you
meet
go.
you too.
Another wee bit of jockety-jockness on the other side of the world. There you go. Now for a look at the caber tossing competition. This guy wasn't the winner, which made me a wee bit overconfident. Oh! Right, this is Missy. Right, now I'll be honest, I've never met her before. I just came across to the dance tent and I saw her picking up this trophy and I thought, we need to talk to that lassie. Tell me, Missy, who are you? What is the trophy and how did you win? How good do you feel about winning?
Well, my name is Missy, and this is the Jessie Massey Memorial Shield for the 3-in-1 swords. And yeah, I got first place, and it feels good. Yeah, it feels good. I won last year, so it's good to come back to McLean and have another go.
And how long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing since I was 4 years old, and I just love it. It's awesome.
And what got you? Why did you? Because you could have done salsa dancing.
Yes.
Why Scottish Highland dancing?
Well, my mum plays bagpipes, and I also play bagpipes, and I was roped into it all. And I love dancing because it's quite competitive. We always have competitions everywhere, and I dance with Oz Scott Australia, so I get to go and do tattoos all around the world.
Wow! Have you done the Edinburgh tattoo?
Not Edinburgh, I've done the Sydney Edinburgh tattoo, but I was just in Washington last year. We've gone to Russia and Crimea and the Virginia tattoo. So
she's a proper star! Wow!
Good fun. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
Yes.
Well, listen, what a pleasure to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
And listen, you clearly you get a lot out of Scottish history and heritage and culture.
Yes. Even
though you're from, now have you got a Scottish family background?
Yes.
Your mum was a piper.
Yes. Yep.
And did she come from Scotland or was it
my
before?
granddad. Yeah.
Your granddad. What was his name?
Ian.
Ian.
Breen.
Ian Breen.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
I hope you have another success next year,
Thank
and
you.
we'll maybe see you at Edinburgh in the tattoo sometime.
Perfect.
There you go. Right, now we're climbing the ladder of the McLean Highland Gathering because now we're talking to Peter Smith, the chieftain of the Lower Clarence Highland Society. Scottish Association. Yeah. I apologise. Right, okay. Tell me about yourself, Peter. Tell me about your involvement with the games and the gathering here and how it's going.
Yes, well, I've been involved since about 1960. And
before I was born.
I've been the chief for 23 years.
And so what's your background that you've been connected to the...
Well, my great-grandfather Henderson, he came from Glasgow. And he got married up in some little place above St Andrews to Miss Goulet.
Is that the real St Andrews?
Yes, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
because
they
you have
come to Australia back in the 1860s or something.
Yes. So but the thing is, there are so many places here that are named after. Yes. I'm never sure if you're talking about some, because I'm from Perth, but you've got a Perth in Western Australia and in Tasmania as well, right? Yes. So it's always confusing.
We've got a lot of Scottish towns now. In about the 1860s, when this place was first getting settled with the European, there was 40% Scottish that came to this area. That's why you find the street names and all that sort of thing here in McLean are named after Scottish people who really developed the town.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you're part of driving that Scottish culture element of the town forward.
That's our main thing, is to keep the Scottish culture alive. We've got our own pipe band, which was formed in 18.
And competing for the first time in a number of years this year.
Yes, well, with the COVID and different things, they weren't able to practice, and they lost their drum corps, and so they're just redeveloping, which is good.
We've already spoken to one of the lassies, for one of your drummers, so it's been good. So for almost a quarter of a century, you've been leading this, and it's still going strong. It's an absolute pleasure to talk to you, Peter, and I wish you well going forward another 25 years.
Yes. We've got with us out here from Edinburgh, Roddy McLeod, who's a champion piper in Scotland, and he's doing a recital tonight at Civic Hall.
You might find me there.
Yeah,
you might find me there. We've got to the top, it's the Chieftain. What a fantastic day. So, we've just been watching the log pushy. And this is the champion. What's it, Lucian, is it?
Yeah, Lucian Takahu.
Lucian Takahu, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And you're telling me you're a McNeil Abara.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just found that out recently. Yeah.
There you
4
go.
days ago, so it's pretty new information, but I'm stoked. I'm embracing it. So.
Yeah, a bit like myself. You're a mixture of two cultures, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 actually. A bit of Danish in there as well. So.
What a combo!
Son of Soren.
A Viking, a Maori, and a Scotsman. You can't get tougher than that. No wonder he won the competition. There you go. And this is the first time you've entered.
First time entering.
Right.
Yeah, so it's technically challenging, right? Because they're all new movements, but that one I think a little bit of technique and I think a bit of weight helps.
Yeah. And so are you now going to be a regular in the McLean?
Sure, I'll be coming down next year. I'll have to go at the top bloke.
There you go.
Come back
and maybe someday you'll come over to Scotland and compete at the games over there. You saw it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant.
Thank you, bro. Cheers.
Cheers, man. So I'm in the beer tent. Eventually I had to get to the beer tent, right? Here in the McLean Highland gathering. And when I got to the beer tent, it was the first time I'd heard a Scottish accent. Hey. And I met Robert here. Now, Robert, you're clearly in a band.
Yes.
What tell me about what are you doing here, right? Where are you from? And what band are you in, etc, etc.
Originally I'm from Dumfries, down in the southwest. And after I finished university, that was around about 2010. There wasn't much going on in Scotland at the time there, so I took on a sort of part-time job teaching in a school up in Warwick in Queensland.
Right.
And from there, I was there for a year, and I came down to the games here. And I won the gold medal for the piping.
Get you!
That year, first attempt, I'll have you know.
Woo!
So that wasn't too bad.
We're meeting the superstars today. I just heard the Scottish accent, right? Aye.
So I had all that, and then associated with the school was my wife's family. My wife wasn't at the school at the time, I'll hasten to but later on she actually came across to Scotland, and she's a piper as well.
Right.
And she spent 2 years teaching in Aberdeen.
Right.
So she was at the Hamilton School initially and then out in Kirkhill.
So you're what they call ping pong poms?
Well, something like that, but I've only been back and forward once.
Aye.
So Sarah was there for 2 years and then...
And where do you stay here now?
We are up on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland.
Right, aye.
Which it's not.
And you've come all the way down here. No, we've been here there in our travels, eh?
Aye.
And you come down here every day at the McLean Highland Scottish. What do they call it? McLean Scottish Society.
Well, no, this is a different thing entirely. But every Easter, this is a bit of a pilgrimage.
Right.
And we were across in New Zealand for a short period before we moved to Australia permanently, missionary work. And from there, we used to actually come across every Easter still to come to McLean. And I feel that McLean, it actually is one of the only places outside of Scotland that it captures the essence of a Highland Games, you know. Everybody's involved, the community's involved, and even when the solo piping's on the Friday, so there's not as much happening in the park, the locals are all checking in on you know, in terms of the overall results, who's winning what and how it's going. And it's a really sort of great community, and you'd have seen at the street march when you were there. I mean, even we're in Scotland, with so many people turn up at 7:30 in the morning to watch some pipe bands march down the street.
Now, sorry, I was going to say that is an accolade indeed from a gold medal winning piper to say that the McLean Highland Games here is the only place that really captures the essence of a Highland Games that you would do back in Scotland. So I think we've genuinely got to the heart of what is the most Scottish town in Australia. You'll never believe, that's one of Murphy's pigs. Come here. Bruce, how are you doing?
Bloody excellent.
Oh, listen, this is one of Murphy's pigs. Once in a doesn't matter, right? Listen, you're here at the McLean Highland, the McLean Scottish Gathering, the McLean Highland Game, and yet, are you Scottish?
Well, no, I'm Australian, but I play with the Queensland Irish and Scottish bands, and we've been here since I was 12.
Right, so have you got an Irish background?
I've got a bit of both, actually. I've got some heritage in Edinburgh, and I have Roscommon over in Ireland.
Right, and are you the band leader? Are you the high...
I'm the pipe major of the Queensland
You're the
Irish.
pipe major? Oh,
it's a bigger title than it sounds.
No, don't do that, because we've met some celebrities today, right? We've met the chieftain of the games, the champion dancer, a gold medal piper winner, right? So do you know what I mean? We've had a great time,
There's
right?
some awesome people around today.
Aye, and is this the most Scottish thing that goes on?
I would say it's the most Scottish Highland Games up here, for sure. There's some big ones down south, but this one is the best up
When
north.
you say down south, see, to us down south it's Englandshire.
Oh, no,
right?
no, that's north for us.
Oh, right. So down south is what? It's
down Brigadoon, sort of Victoria, down sort of in the southern reaches.
Yeah.
Not quite as far as Tasmania, that's a bit too far.
No, we're going there, right, okay. But this is the big thing. Because it's felt very much to us like being at home. Do you know what I mean?
That's a credit to it itself. Like we enjoy it. It's great music, good people, good events.
Yeah.
And the beer's cold.
And the beer's cold.
Different.
There you go. Well, listen, you've still got the mass band to come.
We do indeed.
Right, go and enjoy that. It's been a joy talking to you. All right.
My pleasure. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Murphy's Pigs. So it's late afternoon. The sun's going down, the shadows are lengthening, the stands here are full as everyone has come to watch the massed pipe bands as they're about to start up in the background. Everyone is here to watch this. It's been an incredible day. We've seen some fantastic things, and it's not even finished because this evening there's going to be solo piping in the town hall, and there's going to be a ceilidh in the bowling club. For me, as a Scottish Ghanaian, the most exciting thing about the day is meeting that Maori Viking who just today discovered he was Scottish. If McLean is not the most Scottish town in Australia, then I don't know what is. If you want to see a video about the history of the bagpipes, it's coming up on screen now. In the meantime, Hammy and Doch is going to be a lamb alive. Sherry and Drasta.